Hi, Maf here. It sucks being a Yakuza fan this year. Our remasters are too expensive, the remake isn't well received, and the Daidoji faction is retconning the plot. Nothing will save us now. We are so back! Stranger Than Heaven just dropped the biggest announcement yet, and I really can't believe that all of the trailers for this game so far have all been massive reveals after the other. The first trailer teases us of RGG's newest IP called Project Century. The second trailer unveiled the official title, Stranger Than Heaven. And now the latest trailer just confirmed that we are getting 5 cities and 5 different eras in one single game. Stranger Than Heaven will be RGG Studios' biggest game ever. They really need this game to do so well given their prior titles were met with a lot of criticisms. Fans didn't like that Yakuza 0 Director's Cut was too expensive and resulted in delisting the original in digital stores. The same goes for the remaster of Yakuza Kiwami 1 and 2, then they lost a lot of goodwill in Yakuza Kiwami 3, given the questionable casting, the listing of the original game again, and of course the death retcons. In the past few weeks, it seems that there's no way RGG Studio can redeem themselves. And yet, this one single reveal just brought them in the limelight again as one of the most efficient and creative game developers of today. But does it really? Can Stranger Than Heaven save the Yakuza series? Will RGG Studios' most ambitious game erase their past mistakes? Well, before that though, if you're excited to play as Mako Daito in Stranger Than Heaven, then like this video and join Otaku Defined for more Like a Dragon content. I know I said Like a Dragon content as if saying that Stranger Than Heaven is part of the same series. Well, the trailer actually confirmed our theory and suspicion that this game will be set in the universe of Yakuza games, given that we saw in the trailer the most iconic landmark in Like a Dragon games, the ever-present Kamurocho sign. This is an important reveal as this tells us the possible plot of Stranger Than Heaven. But before we go through with that, let's feast first on the main meat of this trailer. Stranger Than Heaven will take place in 5 different cities and 5 distinct eras. This is such a challenging aspiration by RGG Studio, but it is so like them to try and develop a game we've never seen before. I mean, this is coming from a studio who was known for brawler type games, but then decided to go turn-based on their 7th numbered title. So what exactly should we expect from Stranger Than Heaven and its 5 different cities and eras? Well, RGG Studio is not a stranger in developing games set in multiple cities, as they have done this before with Yakuza 5. Taking place in Fukuoka, Sapporo, Tokyo, and others. However, Yakuza 5 has been criticized for how bloated the game is, and how it tried so many different things that the whole title felt like a jumbled mess. This game also almost bankrupted the studio. However, I do like to think that RGG Studio learned their lesson from Yakuza 5. One of the factors why that game was a mess is because of its plot and different characters that starred in each chapter's location. Stranger Than Heaven, on the other hand, looks to be focusing solely on Mako Daito's story and the span of 5 eras. Think of how the Mafia did it with Tommy. So the plot will be easier to follow and we get to experience those different eras and cities. And speaking of which, where exactly are these eras taking place? Well, 1915 could be Kobe, Japan, given that this was the era of increasing foreign diplomats, where Kitano Ijinkan was built, a historical district in Kobe that housed a number of foreigners from the late Meiji and early Taisho period. And also, we learned that Mako Daito is possibly a Hafu, a mix of Japanese and foreign blood. 1929 is most likely Tsukimino Sapporo, which we previously visited in Yakuza 5 during Saejima's campaign. This will also be the first time we'll see snow in Yakuza's modern games. 1943 is definitely Sotenbori, which we last saw in the title reveal of Stranger Than Heaven. Again, we see familiar sites here such as the Osaka Talent Agency from Yakuza 5. 1951 is an entirely new city, which could be a hot spring town, so it could be Kusatsu Onsen of Gunma or other similar hot spring cities. 1965 is obviously Kamurocho, which cements the fact that Stranger Than Heaven is set in the same universe as the Like a Dragon series. It's really amazing to see all of these locations in various periods of time running in the Dragon engine, which of course RGG Studio will use their signature engine for this game. Given the fact that we see the usual gameplay of Yakuza, such as their bread and butter of beat-em-up mechanics, hit actions that are far more gruesome than other Like a Dragon games, environmental weapons, and even some newer ones with unique animations. And ordering food in a restaurant is a common sight for games developed by the studio. But then they also introduce a lot of new things, such as a choices matter mechanic, rolling down the hills while brawling, then this humongous enemies that reminds me of Mr. Shakedown. And of course, we see Mako riding the tram to navigate the city. I mean, obviously they cannot use Infinite Wealth segue here since it will feel out of place. And is that Snoop Dogg? Yes, this was teased before in the Game Awards when Snoop were Daito's happy. So if you want to beat up Snoop Dogg for singing at an Orange Tacos concert, then by all means, do so. These are all exciting new mechanics, and it really does show that Stranger Than Heaven is RGG Studios' biggest game yet. But will it really be able to renew the fans' fate after all they've done recently with the Yakuza franchise? Well, to answer that, let's look at what exactly will be the plot of Stranger Than Heaven. In the first trailer, fans have theorized that this game will be about the foundation of a Yakuza clan, with a number of them favoring the story of Omi alliances beginning. Considering that the Omi was founded 100 years ago and the game's beta title was Project Century. Then of course we get the Sotenbori connection in the second trailer, which is the primary base of operation for the Omi alliance. However, after learning the name of the protagonist, the game could also be about the foundation of the Tojo clan, with Daito leaving the Omi and joining Makoto Tojo to form their own Yakuza family. But now, all of these theories sound moot, considering how RGG Studio has been sowing the seeds for another organization to be the center of Stranger Than Heaven's plot. And that is the Daidoji faction. Okay, before you leave, hear me out first. I know that the Daidoji faction is the most infamous group in the Yakuza series right now, given the recent events. However, it really does make sense why the Daidoji faction's foundation could be the story we're going to witness in Stranger Than Heaven. By the way, this part will be spoiler heavy, so skip around this part if you want to avoid major story spoilers. Now, firstly, we've seen RGG Studio retconning important plot points of Yakuza games just to involve the Daidoji faction. They wouldn't do this unless they're setting up something big in the future. And looking at the breadcrumbs of this hated shadowy organization, it makes total sense. From Yakuza Kiwami 3's whole mess of an ending with Mina surviving and being kidnapped or recruited by Yoshimura of the Daidoji, then Mina recruiting Hamazaki and stopping him from stabbing Kiryu, which now derails an important plot point of Yakuza 4, then Yakuza 6 is when we first learn of this shadow organization and played an integral part of the story, where Kiryu fakes his death to join as an agent of the Daidoji faction. In Like a Dragon Gaiden, we learn how this organization operates. Then by the end, Yoshimura again kidnaps Nishitani and Shishido to recruit them for the faction. Moving to Infinite Wealth, we learn that the faction isn't what it used to be. But by the end of the game, the Daidoji managed to shift the political balance in their favor with a whole nuclear scandal. Remember that the Daidoji faction is a secret political organization. Its founder, Minoru Daidoji, is known as the Fixer and a former admiral in the Japanese Imperial Navy. Daidoji embezzled massive amounts of military funds to finance the construction of the world's most powerful battleship, the Yamato Mark II, in 1945. With Stranger Than Heaven taking place during World War II, there's no doubt that there's going to be a connection between Mako and Daidoji. Furthermore, this multilingual logos of Stranger Than Heaven flashing on the screen. The faction has ties not only in Japan but also in world politics, as revealed in Infinite Wealth. This is the huge payoff that RGG Studio has been betting on since Yakuza 6. They believe in this game and its shadowy organization to break what Yakuza games hasn't done before, to appease to a more global market. And they might be right. Given that Stranger Than Heaven will have its own showcase with Xbox, showing how much Microsoft believes in the game's potential, Stranger Than Heaven might truly be the one that will save the Yakuza franchise. Not that it needs saving, mind you, since the game has been fun despite the criticisms. If you're curious about that, then check this video out. So, do you think Stranger Than Heaven will be RGG's best game yet? Let me know and join Otaku Defined for more Yakuza content. This is Math, and stay awesome my goddies.